Hola, bon dia. This week we've got some great content for you. Steve's been cracking on with some jobs outside as well as inside. I think he's finished the compost bins. He's got half of the area cleared where we're going to be putting the raised beds so we can grow some vegetables. So I need to have a look and see what vegetables we can grow, what we can put in early spring. Ellie Rose has done some more on the path, which is great. And he's also got some inside jobs done, some rendering of the second coat rendering of the ceiling in the kitchen, filled in where the electrician's been, so the holes in the wall where they've channelled in. So you'll see all that anyway. Something else I wanted to tell you about is this week we also visited our local Fraguzia in the village to get the dogs registered. We'd heard that you need to register your dogs in Portugal, so we took the passports for the dogs up. It was quite simple really. They give you a certificate after they've asked you a lot of questions about what colour your dog is and whether they've got a curly tail or a straight tail, etc., how big they are. It was €6 for each dog, which I didn't think was bad. But one thing I didn't know that I wanted to tell you was it's not just a case of registering them, it's like a licence, because we was told we need to go back in 12 months time and do the same again. So I'm presuming it's like the old UK licence. We also got a certificate from them to prove that we live in the village, a residency certificate. I won't try and pronounce it in Portuguese. That was €4 for each person. You can use that, or you can use your deeds to your property or your rental agreement. That's for our SEF appointment next month, and that's one of the documents we needed, so we got that done as well. We've also been getting quotes for the roof renewing. We've decided to have the whole lot redone because it is leaking in 2 places on our property. Ellie Rose's is not so bad, and the barns at the end have got a big hole in, as you know, so we're going to get those done as well. We had a look at kitchens at Brico. We're going to, when we go and meet down in the lane from Pip's Living Off Grid next week for lunch, we are going to, that's in Castelbranco. We'll have a look around Leroy Merlin's and some other places, but I've decided that because I like baking and cooking so much, I'm not brilliant at it, but Steve enjoys eating it, so it's quite difficult at the moment with 2 like camping tables and plastic cloths on. So we've decided we're going to buy a piece of worktop and a couple of cheap cabinets for now. We've also ordered the range cooker because that was on a 4 months order thing. So we'll have that, hoping we're going to get the kitchen somewhere reasonable within the next couple of weeks so that we can unwrap that. It's arriving next week. And then, as you know, the cooker that's already in there is actually for Ellie Rose's cottage. We've also arranged for the internet to go on to fibre. We didn't have that in the village when we first had the internet put in, but it's here now. And that'll mean that a lot of our videos have been going on late. They've been going on the Monday instead of the Sunday. We normally put them up about 11, half past on a Monday. And it's just been so slow as the internet that it's not been ready to be put onto YouTube until the Monday. So that's obviously going to mean we're going to have a lot faster speed. So we should get back to our usual time of 11 to 11:30. Say we're going out for lunch with Darren and Elaine from Pip's Living Off Grid. I think they're coming back to see us again shortly in the next week or 2 as well here at our quinta to collect some more straw and hay, because they're really getting to grips with their land and starting to grow things. Hopefully we shouldn't be too much longer. As I say, Steve's half cleared the area where we're going to start and put the raised beds and do a little bit of planting. But yeah, have a look at Pip's Living Off Grid because they've really got to grips with their land and started to get things done on there. So have a look and see what we've been doing this week.
So this afternoon, Debbie and Ellie Rose have gone out for the afternoon. So I've got the dogs to sort of look after. I can't let them out on the land because they just do a runner. So I'm leaving them in the on the patio, and I'm just going to take care of some of that behind me. So let's get on with it and I'll show you what I'm doing. So I started the other day just because I had an hour or so spare, just moving some of this wood pile, sorting it out and putting it in the woodshed. It's a bit wet, so what I was thinking was when I can make my way through to the back, there's some dry in there, and I'll you know, move that in first, get that separated, ready for cutting up, and then we can go from there. These were well, this shed area is going to be used for some raised beds, and I suddenly thought, we're doing like ogle beds, so obviously they're going to have wood at the bottom, what's rotting, which is that, and we're going to put some here and some there. So instead of moving the wood from there into the woodshed over there, I'm going to clear this patch. Hopefully the wood under the plastic sheeting's dry enough or good enough. That'll go in the woodshed, which is going to leave me a space here to make a hugel bed once I've cut some of these trees out, and yeah, make me raised beds, put some of that in as at the base for the hugel bed, and kill two birds with one stone. Move. What I didn't anticipate in this is how much stone there is, broken blocks. So I just thought I'd show you what I'm doing here, just in case of nasty creepy crawlies, which I don't like at best of times. I'm just getting the rake, pulling it forward, having a look around it before I pick it up and throw it into the wheelbarrow. I ain't too bad with most creepy crawlies, but I've seen one of them big centipedes type things a couple of times. Yeah, I don't like the look of them. I do know they give you a nasty bite, and there is other little things, you know. So we're making a bit of headway now. We've just pulled these two, I suppose you'd call them runners really, because I think they come off the bigger plum trees what were next door over the other side of the fence. So we're getting a little bit further in now. It's getting damper near the back, probably because it gets no sun because of the wall. As you can see, there's a schist wall at the back. That's where I intend taking it down to. This middle wall, I think I'm going to pull it out. I just realised it's got a big ring in there, steel ring, been used for something. I also found one in a block. I was just about to show you that. I didn't realise there was two. Whether this has been a wall at the other side, I don't know. We'll maybe discover that as we go. Most of the wood under here now is absolutely rotten, but one thing I've found is a lot of this sort of schist stone, so I'm just collecting a pile down here. I don't know whether I'll have enough, but I just thought it might make a nice path in between two of the beds when we get them there. Yeah, and I didn't mention earlier, although it looks a lovely day today, and we're sort of mid-afternoon now. Sun's still bright in the shade. It's still quite cold. I'm warm because I'm digging all that stuff out, but yeah, it's a bit chilly when you're just have a look at our Rottimatella. I don't know whether I can get a bit difficult for me because I can't see because of the reflection off the. So I don't know whether you can see that, but it's about 10 degrees centigrade, which is about 50 Fahrenheit. So not too bad, but it's not very warm. Pointed out, and I've to point out, and I have noticed it in our woodshed as well. There always seems to be under a lot of these wood piles ash, as though they've had a fire here, and then, you know, decided, oh well, we'll just use the wood pile for storing logs. But I'm beginning to wonder now whether it's to keep the bugs down, you know, from breaking down the wood while it's stored, because obviously people will use charring some of these beams, doing this shuggy ban or something like that. I don't know much about it, but it was on the Indigo Escape, if anybody watches that. They put a container cabin up, and then they've framed round it while they're doing their main house, and they've used a lot of charred wood on that. So that's maybe what it's for. Anybody knows, please let me know. So that was a little more difficult than what I thought it was going to be, what with it being mainly stone and what have you underneath. And then when I got to the trees, that's just done it for me for now. I got like 4 big ones, a couple of small ones, 6 foot, something like that, out of it. But yeah, I've had enough now, so the rest of the tidying up will have to wait until tomorrow or whenever we decide to do that. That rotten wood will go into the bottom of the raised bed, along with some bits of that, some straw, some soil, and then some compost, and then whatever we're planting. I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to start building. At this moment in time, I've got a couple of projects ongoing. This was really, while Debbie was out, I can keep an eye on the dogs from here, and I can get on with some work. So, and it was a job what needed doing. So yeah. So what I'll continue to do probably this week, I might even get Ellie Rose to do some of it, is rake the stone out, so we've got more or less a flattish area. So I found some more scrap wood, and I've just made the centre bar for the compost heap. So I'm just going to go down, I've just screwed it together quickly. I'm just going to go down and stand this up, screw that end to the sides, and then I've got some bars what I've cut to fit in the middle. So if you'd like to follow me on this. So this is going to be the centre rail coming out to the front. Looks like it's going to want to be on a block, but the idea is it'll sit like that, and then these two will go at 3 will go from here, so we've got room to shovel underneath and get stuff out when it's done. And I got a block. I'm just going to screw this to the back now, and then, as I said, 2 big slats across, and I didn't find any long enough to do it right across, so I've got 2 metre ones what will go halfway. So I'm just putting a couple of screws in each plank. It is only a 12-volt one as well, with a small battery on, so I'm just going to start 2 screws in this plank so I can hold it up and unscrew it in. Oop, not through my glove as well. A lot better if you have the proper bit adapter as well, and then your bits don't fall out all the time. I did have them taped in on the last lot, but because they didn't last very long, I was changing them quite a lot, so it's just as easy to weld it in. And so let's see if it'll pull in. It won't pull in too far on this because there's a bit of a notch on the end of the wood there. I'm just going to knock that off. You just see there's a little notch there. With it being rustic, it don't matter that much. And a couple of screws. Yep, what happened there? My screw broke. Oh. I actually snapped a screw with it. So that'll stay there. I'll put another couple of screws in. I certainly didn't expect that. There we go, we'll put another one further up. And then same again for that one, screw the middle in. I'll just put a couple of screws in as starters. Them gaps are a bit big. To be honest, I've been wanting to use these screws up for a long while. Changing it to break straight away, and then that side and they're all okay. Oop. Three broke.
That's another one broken.
Weird. Weird. Put another one in there. then the top plank's going to be in 2 parts. And I just realised this has got a nail in it. Take that out. So I want it that way around. Looks a bit more shabby. Go for that.
How if I do that?
It's coming your way a little bit. Not there, yeah. So, there we are, one rustic compost bin. So this afternoon I'm filling some of these wiring holes up so we can start getting some of this decorated. I've had somebody here to look at the roofs.
Which is what all the staining is behind, Steve.
Which is why we're getting some water through here. And I've also just been rendering the ceiling at the other end, just levelling it up a bit. The nearest part's not bad, but the far side of it needs another coat because it was too deep to skim in one coat. So now I'm just filling all these holes in. Hopefully I'm going to be able to take that black pipe out that you've just looked at. So I might try taking that out this afternoon as well, mainly because I've made too much cement, as I always do. Made a too watery mix, so I had to mix it up a bit more.
We're still learning as we go along.
Yeah, we're having a go, you know, and that's all there is to it. Things go right, things go wrong. That ceiling to me this morning's gone wrong. Debbie thinks it's not bad.
Well, it's better than it was.
It's better than it was.
It's an improvement then.
I suppose some of it I can tidy up tomorrow when I skim the rest of it. Maybe tomorrow. I might give up by then.
No, you won't.
So, I'm just filling these up. I've done one behind. It is quite messy. Hopefully when it dries a bit I'll just sponge around it and wipe some of this off. And especially some of this loose what's dropped onto the plugs and things.
Yeah, but that's going to be under worktop height.
Oh, yeah, but still don't want to be on the plugs and things.
No.
Yeah, so all that's under worktop height anyway. Worktop comes to about here.
Yeah.
And then we'll be tiling up from there.
Yeah.
So, and all this will be tiled.
All the way up. Yep.
So that's the idea. So at the moment I'm just filling in the wiring tracks. Really just like everybody does the pointing, apart from I ain't got a little pointing trowel, pointing stick, so just pushing it in, make sure it goes well into the back of it, or well into it, and working my way up. Hope that's the right way. Somebody may tell me I should be working down, I don't know. We'll see. We're not experts at this, we have a go. So I'm just going to try and remove this pipe. I'm just giving it a couple of taps from the outside just to try and loosen it around the where it's fixed, around the cement. I'm just going to put a plate, see if I can knock it through a bit. It seems to be moving. Certainly won't get it all the way through the wall like this, but yeah.
Oops.
Oops.
Well, it started it.
Yeah, it seems to be doing quite well. I may have to bend it in. A nice spider's come out. It decided it didn't like the noise.
Is it?
Just here. It's only one of them little stringy ones.
Oh yeah.
So. Yeah, I thought it might go out of shape when it got near the end. Because I can't hit it even now. Yeah. So if I bend it in a bit, might take some of the weight off. Now it's going to crump it up now. Yeah. Doesn't seem to be moving anymore, so I'll probably now have to flatten it in so it's narrower than the hole. So. Maybe I'll use a bit of block of wood to do that. Then I'll go and get a narrower block to try and punch it through a bit better. Yeah. Okay. So I'm either going to put something down the side and bend it in, which will make it looser obviously, or I'm going to try a block and just knock it in. So I'm just going to get a thinner piece of wood than this. So I've just got another block of wood. I'm just going to try knocking it through first of all. Well, it seems to be going quite well actually. Got my piece of wood stuck now. I think it's gone inside the pipe.
Yeah.
The pipe's more or less out. I can see daylight, so we'll just.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Out.
Yay!
You can see daylight through there. They've actually drilled that by the look of it. Made quite a nice job as well.
Oh.
Surprising. So what I'm going to do now is start putting some cement in, a couple of blocks, a bit more cement, build this side up, and then I'll go and do the same at the other side. So I'm just going to go and just get some bits of stone just to fill in, because if you try filling it in, it'll just all fall out. So a little bit at a time, build it up. So I've just pushed an inch or so of cement in here, and I'm just going to now push some stone into it so it builds it up a bit. One, I won't use as much cement, and two, it won't be falling out all the time. So just 3 or 4 bits in, another layer, and then we could have done with something there. Actually, if I turn that there, just give me something to press against. I'll build another layer up and then put some more in. And do exactly the same from the other side. Make sure I've got plenty in. It'll only squash into the rest of the opening anyway. With it being a sloping hole, it's hard to remember where I've put the other ones. So, yeah, let's say I'll just build it up. It will probably a smaller bit than at the top, or a narrower bit. It's starting to bubble out a bit, so. Yeah, maybe 2 bits like that. So that'll push into the back of the hole, hopefully, a bit for the front. And we'll render that up, I hope. Push it well in, and hopefully
some of it will stay in.
yeah, well, me's no expert, so
I think you're doing a brilliant job.
it's still sagging a bit at the top. We'll just push another couple of bits in. Isn't going to do it any harm. It'll fill from the other side if nothing else. Seems to have a bit of a hole there, so I'll just push that in. A bit more in there. Just going to fill that top bit. There we go, leave it to dry and then just rub it in a bit. So because I've made too much cement and I've filled the hole in the chimney and I've done the wiring holes, we've decided we'd fill this floor in. The floor's not level, and where I took the wall out, it's always been a bit of a trip hazard just walking in, and it's edge of a tile as well, which isn't very nice. We only use this room for storage at the moment, but it is going to be our bedroom shortly. So I thought with the extra cement I'd just taper a bed of cement in so that we can walk over it easier. The bed will cover most of this. There's only going to be a couple of foot either side where you'll actually see any of this.
Just until we get around to doing it all. There's just so many jobs to do that this is just one that, you know, we can temporary fix quite easy. And eventually we'll...
Like the way she says quite easy when she's not doing it.
I'm doing the filming. Eventually, you know, we'll probably retile the whole floor, level it up and retile it. But for now, just so that we can get on with things and get using this room.
I don't really know which is the best way of doing this, so I'm just sort of making it up as I go along and just sort of skimming to the edge of these tiles.
You've done a good job there.
Well, I might do. I'm just flattening it out a bit. It's stopping it having this edge on it, what I'm trying to do. because there's a couple of broken bits. I'm trying not to make too much mess as well, because we haven't really cleaned this room out for doing this. It wasn't on the plan for this week. I just don't want too much on. But, it looks silly. Just wet my way down. What's the lump there, I think? A bit of tile missing out there, so I'll probably just have to fill that in. And that's my idea, just to keep moving along and just try and give it a reasonable job. I'll smooth it over with a sponge later as it's drying, just to get these edges. But other than that, that's how it'll stay.
You've got enough left to do it all?
Yeah. Surprising. Anybody think I planned it? I haven't. So I'm just going to tidy this patch up. Just going to sponge it, just rub it in a bit, get the edges a bit more sharper, level, if you like. That's all I'm going to do, just lightly sponge over it, a bit damp. And then that's going to be it for this week. So thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and don't forget to ring the notification bell and share the video. We'll get this right one day.